How do you improve your duo strategy in Warzone? That was the question I started my latest stream with. The answer lies in the loadout, and today I will show you how I got 3 victories immediately after applying the strategy. We focused on the following important aspects in order to get the upper hand over everybody else on the servers: intel, protection, economy, range, destruction and insta-kills. If you can match both of your loadouts based on your personal skills and your buddy skills, then you will have an insane advantage over everybody else on the server. Most of you guys know that I'm a YouTuber and I recently started streaming. I invited one of the most loyal subs and then we matched our loadouts. We are not a duo that has been playing Warzone together over the last few months. We only played a few games together during sub Sundays and that's it. Most of the time these were trios or quad games, so we know each other a little bit. Jack is a great close combat player. This is where he excels. I am more focused on long range fights. This is where my strengths lie. I love the MP7 and I'm more than comfortable using the MP7 that spawns in the game. This was our starting point, and with that info in mind, we then matched our loadouts in order to maximize our advantage. Everybody's goal is to get to the loadout, so we kept that strategy. Buy your own loadout and then, when the time is right, go for the first automatic loadout drop. So, we had to match 2 loadouts per person. Let's start off with my loadout. One of the first things you can do when you're matching a loadout is to use one person as your designated chopper, meaning he should use hardline, so that he can get discounted prices. More on that in a second. Since we are using that strategy, I can't use overkill, so we'll have to use a weapon that I find in game, or I will have to use a handgun, a launcher, a knife, or the Kali sticks. Ideally, I will keep the MP7 that I find, but I can always use something else like a Bison for example if I can't find an MP7. Since I will be focused on the range aspect within our duo, I chose for the Kar 98K for the faster ADS time and for its one shot, one kill capability when you go for headshots, immediately taking out half of the enemy team. So, we already have the insta-kill aspect taken care of, and we have partially taken care of the range aspect. My secondary are my Renetis with the Akimbo perk, but they aren't as good anymore as they used to be, and as you know I will swap those out for the MP7 anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. We decided to keep the EOD perk, because there is nothing else that you can use to match with your buddy in perk 1, so EOD still gives you the biggest advantage. Perk 2 is the moneymaker. Being able to buy items like UAVs at discounted prices is great, and what you will see in the rest of the video will confirm that if you keep an eye on our cash. If you can get more UAVs, you can get more intel, and that increases your chances of winning. Remember, knowledge is power. So this takes care of our economy aspect, and it partially takes care of the intel aspect. Amped is the only perk that makes sense, the other ones are not that useful. Initially I went for claymores, because later you will see that I will use restock, and 2 claymores can insta-kill 1 enemy player, so that would have taken care of the insta-kills as well, together with the protection aspect. However, since we used an aggressive playstyle, we never had the chance to use them in victory 1 or 2, so then I swapped out to the frag grenades in the last victory. For the tactical, there is nothing that beats the stun grenade, so this was an obvious choice for me, but not for Jack. Remember, we are matching our loadouts. So for Jack, the main focus was to excel in short range firefights. So for his first loadout, he went for the MP5 in combination with the M13. So he was forced to use overkill. For his perks, he also used EOD and Amped. For his lethal, he chose for C4 so that he can insta-kill vehicles, which he did multiple times during the stream. He even used it on a heli, so that takes care of the destruction aspect, and he can also use them for protection. His tactical was a heartbeat sensor. This covers the last aspect of intel, and it reinforces his focus on short range firefights. So, as you can see, our loadouts match and complement each other, giving us the biggest advantage. He takes care of the short range fights, I take care of the long range fights. He can easily destroy vehicles, and I can cover our back with claymores. He can get short range intel with his heartbeat sensor, and I can get cheap UAVs to get short, medium and long range intel with an advanced UAV. But it doesn't end there, we can do even more. That is where the second loadout drop comes in. This is where we partially change roles. The idea is now for Jack to handle all the money, so he will then go for hardline and I will go for restock, because this combination gives us the biggest advantage. So loadout wise, it looks like this. I will go for my very own MP7, but with the VLK attached, so that I can use the MP7 for short range fights, but also for medium range fights. There aren't many Warzone players who are used to this, so you might want to change to a sight or scope that you're comfortable with. I have the Renetis as my secondary, but I will pick up the Kar 98K anyway. EOD, restock and amped, claymores or grenades and stun grenades. Those will auto regenerate, so I will have an unlimited supply of lethals and tacticals. For Jack, it means that he will stick to his MP5 and he will then pick up his M13 again. EOD, hardline, amped. So Jack will now handle all the money. That was part of the
give up.
mixing and matching strategy so that we can get the maximum advantage from the
I got
perks.
it.
He will still use his C4 and his
Oh, I
heartbeat
didn't
sensor.
just give up.
This
Okay.
combination of weapons,
No
perks
worries,
and
man. You just
equipment
said
gave us
unlucky.
everything we needed to get multiple wins, which means that you can do the same.
My person,
I will show you
person
exactly
deploy.
what happened and how we did it. Make sure to focus on the game-changing moments as well, when we
Person
decided to
didn't make
push, when not to push, and when to go
We
for
got
the victory
35
instead of
minutes,
going for the
unlucky.
kills. All of this matters as well, but it's not so easy as matching our loadouts. However, you can clearly see it when we change strategy, so I really hope that you enjoy the rest of the victories so that you can see the loadouts in action. Your help is more than welcome, so please like, sub, share
Yeah, I
and
just
feel
missed him.
free to join me
Nice
live
shot.
on stream.
Parachuting down up here. 2 teams.
Yeah, one's above us, one's to our left. Guy, we downed Res and you got Res.
Yep. Les amis chauds.
Mate's gonna go back.
Yeah, no. Just trying to get you back.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
On the left here.
One on the right. I've got a guy dropping on me. He's cracked. Oh,
You're all
Oh no.
oh. How did he get that first hit on me? Oh, he got it. He was sliding.
Fuck you.
He was happy.
Anybody need this?
Yeah, sorry man, I'll try to get you back.
Bounty target identified. Slot the bastard. Gas is moving in. New safe zone
Can I
located.
get money from somewhere else? I'm just gonna see if I can loot this. If it's looted, I'll just go. Thank you for all the loot. That's me looting this building. All it needs. I don't get why he was looking the other way. I mean, I thought my footsteps would have been clear.
Pilot 6-9.
Come on, dude, peek. Could go for the rooftop after this, when the circle comes.
Yeah.
Guy there.
Right, I'm going.
Oh, sniper as well.
Taking fire!
I'm safe, but
Get your ass up.
Keep the pressure on.
so there were two guys.
Laser.
One on the window. Yeah.
Oh, in that house as well.
I'm not gonna armor up because he meant the White House or? Yeah, two White House top floor.
Guys went orange.
Knocked one if you wanna push. Top right window.
Moving.
I'll stun it.
Gas is closing. Get to the safe zone.
Down one. One left.
Setting a charge.
Is C4?
Straight down.
Yeah, I got him.
Let's go.
A C4 got stuck on the wall.
Bloody hell. Oh, we're gonna need to move. So.
Gas is closing in.
Get to the safe zone. Pick it up.
3 teams, 5 guys.
2v2v1. I did see people in White House, like last time I looked at that.
Okay.
Enemy UAV overhead.
People must have ghosted.
Okay, they don't have an angle on us.
Only,
So.
the only downside, I guess.
Still
Unless
VRV,
you
yeah?
be lost, so.
Right.
Ground to actual. Request flyover.
Yeah, nobody's
Everyone.
ghost.
Fuel. Good copy. UAV beginning flyover.
Let's take a different weapon.
Please be honest. I beg.
Sorry.
Fine, I'm on it.
Gas is moving
Oh,
in.
thank God.
Safe zone located.
Thank
Okay,
God.
let's get in a position to use this, huh?
Yeah, I'm getting over this one.
UAV is out of fuel.
So if you stay close, I'll take distance, so I'll go
Get to
I'll
the
run
safe
up.
zone.
One guy there.
Yeah.
That down the hill over there as well.
Okay.
There. Got movement.
Cracked. Last guy. No, 2 more. Finished him.
Shot.
Cracked.
That's done for you.
Down. Dead.
Beautiful, well played, man. Beautiful stuff.
Oh,
Yes, baby.
Harry.
Haha, very nice. 12-5. So our loadouts worked. However, in the end, I had too many claymores. I should have had something else. So I might swap it later, but we'll see. So very good game already. Second game in with our new combination perks, loadout thingy, whatever you want to call it. So it works. Wait, threat on you.
Where's the people?
I thought I saw one there, so I think they're coming from that side. I'll get the loadout. Let's go up to this roof.
Friendly loadout drop on the way.
Then we can use the roof to protect us, and the loadout's dropping on the roof.
Right,
Hopefully,
in the safe
win-win
zone.
situation.
West threat's on to go up. Put behind.
Enemy vehicle.
Come on.
20 unit down there. Left in garage. Found one.
Nice.
One.
And the other one, do you know where?
Somewhere over. Yeah, on the.
Evaded the enemy flash. Good work.
Crack. One nearly cracked.
Fucking sniper,
We
bro!
need you. Come on.
He was like, sniper, sniper, sniper.
Yep, I'm falling down. Alright, I'm down.
Up with
Coming
you.
in from here.
Moving up here.
I just saw him on
Alright.
time. Still
Yep, I
standing
got
there.
one direct underneath us, 13 meters.
Here, yeah. Wait, stay up here.
One's trying to come up. One's up. Oh, I should have stayed, that's my bad.
No worries, man.
This is the Gulag.
Yeah, I think the advantage there is that we... Anyway, there was a guy going up from the other side as
Win
well.
this fight and you return to the front line.
Okay.
But if you lose,
Yeah, I think if you just stay up there, you got the biggest advantage there. Because it's almost impossible for them to come to you. If you play it right.
I will bang me.
They were shooting very well though.
Yeah, I should, that was my fault.
return back to the front line. Burned it.
That might be the guy that I killed.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. Standing back here.
Enemy soldier incoming.
It just picked up the good gun.
Yeah, I got Kimbo grenade, so we go. Oh, on the ladder.
Got him.
Oh,
Up with
He
you.
was
Let's go.
very angry as well. Okay.
go for it. Gas mask.
I see a sniper. One of those buildings, so watch out when you go for the loadout.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Just gonna reload and see if I can snipe him. He just jumped down. Somewhere over there.
There. I've got movement.
Alright.
Yeah, straight ahead.
I got one. Yeah, two.
One down.
Down one.
X-ray down.
Okay, let's finish him.
Yeah, he's team one.
Nice one. Beautiful. Good
Okay.
call on the heartbeat.
Losing ground.
Okay, so.
Anybody need this?
Another team. Oh, I'm safe.
We need
Okay.
you.
Yeah, I couldn't
Come on.
finish him. He's cracked though. Outside wall somewhere
Come on,
there.
this way.
Two teams, He was
Moving.
there, but a guy further as well.
Right behind. Cracked. Oh, he's cracked.
One right underneath me. There's this house. I got a bad feeling about this.
Jump onto that house and run off.
Mark on the grid. Let's go.
Go back to the.
Yeah, no, we have the advantage actually, but fact is that there are two teams here. I hope they go to the blue marker because my claymores are there. Yeah, I should have gotten that UAV. Any suggestions?
There's a guy still in there, but other than that, no, I have nothing.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw him again.
I just keep seeing it later.
Gonna try, see if I can get to him.
I have dead silence. Could jump off, run through. It's
Yeah, same. So do it in 3, 2, 1, go.
behind. Cracked. Cracked there. Where the hell did he come from?
Bounty target is down. Well done.
Just gonna go here. Maybe I can see him.
Got a ride.
I got 46 meters, 246 meters dead ahead.
One more. Right.
In one.
Yeah, I wanted to mark him, but went to the car instead.
You
One.
call. Right, we're in the safe zone.
Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy UAV overhead.
Hold on, man. So it works the combination you with the C4.
Yeah. OP.
What's the closest way?
Behind. Up so.
Yeah, I can't kill him. I downed him, but I don't have anything to throw.
Right, hold still.
Last scene there.
Moving. Under fire.
Come on, dude. One down. You're gonna jump soon, huh?
Ground.
Yeah, they have to.
Oh no, so slow. They're moving left. So top left.
Let's go. Wait, belay that.
Crack. Down. I want that plates. I'm being beamed from everywhere.
Jump, man, jump.
Some guy's got to run out from underneath us.
Good call, man. Kinda left still, huh? Unless he moved up.
That's not me.
Only 10 are left.
Yeah, I knew when he had to jump that he was gonna be damaged. That's why I was sort of waiting for him to jump.
Over there.
Okay.
Mark on the grid. Let's go.
Guy, dead ahead on the farm. On that
I
ping.
got small cow
Two of
here.
them.
Here's right, yeah.
Target sighted. I'll take that.
Can move your marker.
Got gas
Just get behind him.
Safe zone relocated. I'm hit. Enemy soldier incoming.
Teammate on me. Cracked. Down. Finish one.
Played.
Good game.
Teammate.
Behind. North.
Yeah, I downed one guy, but I'm keep being shot from the other side.
Yeah.
I'll drive us. Right, hold still.
I need this guy's plates that's behind us. Tell me that's on. Or she didn't, why would you?
I downed him there, I don't know if he's dead.
Get to the safe zone. Pick it up.
Only 5 remain. Finish the job.
4 in this zone.
Yeah, I got a UAV using it.
Ground to actual. Request flyover.
Behind.
UAV
Yep.
entering the AO.
You see me?
Cracked. Good mask. Eliminated.
Nice. I just get behind the tree and stop
There.
playing.
Going in.
Yeah,
Yep,
let's
they're
get to the
last
wall. Yeah. No, 3 teams, 3 teams.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's two solos.
Yeah.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe
One
zone.
guy there. Dead.
Ready to.
Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. RTB.
You could just storm hold him if you
Yeah,
wanted to.
just come. It's very low, but right there.
Moving.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I would say storm hold.
Played, man. Well
Nice.
played.
Back,
2 wins in a row.
13-13. Wow.
Very, very nice. Whew, 2 wins in a row, ladies and gentlemen. Very nice. So it's definitely working, the combination we've been doing. With all the weapons and all the perks. Thanks, Esther, man. Yeah, we're both the beast. We both did great. Yeah, the difficult part was when he got down there at the end with the other guy. That was sort of the major difficult part. Because I had to park the car in a certain way, try to res him, make sure the other guy doesn't get up. Whew. So don't push down, just let him come up, so I can shoot as well.
Yep.
Trophy system deployed.
Smart. I hear him
Hey,
underneath
road
me.
down there.
Grid marked. Let's move out.
Armor. The boy. Oh, it's one on my roof, one on my roof.
I'm barely doing damage.
Hey.
Your teammate has entered
Yeah,
the
same.
gulag. Surviving earns them redeployment.
How come I didn't damage him? It's strange, I was shooting him and there was like no damage almost.
Yeah, I hit him like
Surviving,
3,
you
4
can
times.
redeploy.
Of virtually nothing.
I've never seen that before. No, I don't.
You can practice
I've
your
used a
aim
gun
one way.
before.
Taunting your enemy is an effective way to get inside their
Here comes a
heads.
replay.
So is a well-placed stone.
What my build.
So we see the other guy.
Time for a bit of argy-bargy. Get yourself sorted.
on.
You're up next.
So Jax was shooting him already. So he's damaged already. He should have been dead. Anyway. I don't get it. So Jax shoot him first, then I shoot him. And I barely crack him.
You win this fight and you return to the
I've
front
never had
line.
that before. I don't
You
know
lose, you're done here.
if it's a game or what happened there.
Time to earn your freedom, soldier. Properly sorted. Stand by for redeployment.
Okay, I'm out.
Nice.
Marcus says you're amazing, bro. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching and thanks for coming here from the.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, yeah, it's good. Thanks a lot for coming here from the YouTube videos. Much appreciated, man. Razor says, can you guys both try Superstore? Okay. We can try that. I'll stay in there so you can get it.
He's here, he's dark underneath me. I reckon he's in the store room.
Okay, go.
Yep.
Nice, man.
Target is down. Well done.
X-ray spotted.
King there. Just hear him
Yup.
jumping out.
Down one fall back.
Top plates.
Oh, no.
Target neutralized. Well done.
Good push, man.
Oh my, this satchel. Why?
Doesn't want to.
Gas is closing in.
Another car. Car rolling up on me.
Yep.
Crack. Down.
Nice, man.
Down to one. Crack. Nice.
Oh, where's man?
Well done.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into your line of fire. I don't get it why they didn't go up, at least one guy. Let's go up then. Because the zone's coming in from the south, so maybe we can see other people. Fire station?
There. I've got movement.
Got him.
White.
Yep, just one. I think he was about to res his friend. All I can see. Here's a UAV.
Requesting recon. Send flyover.
Okay, that's
UAV
it.
entering the AO.
I'll go get this money and
Get to the new
stuff.
safe zone.
Yeah, I'll do
You want my
the...
money?
Sorry?
You want my money as well?
No, I'm gonna go for the proper UAV, the big one, advanced UAV. But I have enough. Got a munitions box.
Be
Front
advised,
to Actual.
UAV is
Request
bingo fuel.
flyover.
Our UAV entering the AO.
Grid marked. Let's move out.
Front to Actual.
entering the AO.
Request flyover.
Mark on the grid. Let's
UAV
go.
entering the AO.
There's nobody here. What do you think? Maybe loadout first?
Got eyes on a care package.
You take the heli?
Yeah.
Alright, found us a helo. Right,
Then maybe
going.
them. If you land on the heli, then we'll move in from there.
Be
Because I don't know if we're
advised, UAV
gonna
is
make
bingo
it.
fuel. RT, be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. Be advised, UAV is
I'll be
bingo
the
fuel.
pilot.
RTB for resupply.
Thank you.
Out.
Yeah, Chatterbox. I'll give you the quick explanation now already. So the idea is that I get hardline, so that I can get all the cheap stuff from the or big discount from the buy stations. That's why we get so many UAVs and stuff. That's why we're running around with so much money.
Losing ground.
Well, I'll explain it further later. So now I'm gonna get a proper primary weapon. You can land us up on the hangars. Maybe that one.
I'm off this way.
One guy jumped out the van.
Yep.
I'm off
Driving
this
across
way.
the... One guy direct underneath us as well.
Got one. The truck guy team is dead.
Oh.
Don't know where he shot me from. Using UAV. Sorry, that side. West. I can self-rest, so stay there.
Alright.
So there, I think on the rooftop somewhere.
Oh, I'm gonna bring the heli over to you because I can't see
Okay,
nothing from
yeah.
him.
Using UAV now then.
Requesting recon. Send flyover.
Ah, he's got his-
UAV entering the AO.
I don't know where he went.
Whoa!
Next to the truck.
Get away from the heli. Yep.
Stun it out.
Push. Didn't make it.
Be advised, UAV is
Jumped
bingo
over.
fuel.
Yeah.
RTB for resupply.
Got it. Good call, man.
I could get
That's
another advanced UAV if you want.
Yeah, because you're a hardline now. Yeah, go.
Yeah, I'll run for it. Guy flying in over there.
Yeah, see it.
Contact.
Hope I don't die.
X-ray spotted.
Guy coming back here.
Friendly UAV overhead. Enemy soldier incoming.
Got a vendor if you need gear. Wait, I'll lay that.
Got hear him above.
Setting charge.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Oh, 12 meters.
I swapped to my car 98K somehow. I jumped at him and I was ready to shoot, and then I see the scope of my car 98K. It's like, oh, okay. Heli just landed here.
Quick scopes. Yep.
So they're on the police station. Just can't see him.
Can't see him either. I got 32 meters.
Okay, wait then. Wait. I wouldn't push him.
Yeah, they're 22 meters. I think they're inside.
Yeah. Just don't get at what they're doing here. Buy station.
One's about to run out back. Yep. Finish.
Okay, coming to you. Do you see where the other guy is?
Inside still.
Okay,
Enemy
push.
UAV overhead.
Cracked.
Nice, man.
Dead.
Perfect. I'll drop you the money so you can do your stuff. Yeah, I had a feeling that we shouldn't push, so luckily it worked out this time. Be able to protect him.
Friendly UAV
Got
overhead.
a vendor if you need gear. Wait, relay that.
I'm off this way.
Got a vendor if you need
Right.
We got the heli here, so we can use that.
I'm flying in there.
Moving.
Okay, we can
Yeah,
go
I
for
see
the
it.
guy flying and then go for the guys at the buy station. Where is he? Oh, sorry, didn't see you were in.
Mark on the grid. Let's go.
Where did he go? Oh, blue mark.
Down on blue marker. What? How did that kill me?
Interesting tactic.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
We got a car down there as well.
He was downed already.
Friendly loadout drop on the way.
Oh, I see them.
Okay,
Over
the
there.
guy got eliminated.
Mark on the grid. Let's go.
Behind us. Copy.
Yep, see it.
Oh, they're gonna blow that heli.
Enemy UAV overhead.
X-ray
There.
spotted.
Enemy. Friendly UAV overhead.
Go behind us as well on there.
Hostile
Mark on the
dropping
grid.
into the
Let's
area.
go.
Watch the sky.
Wow.
Yep. I think we have to make it back to the police station somehow.
Going in.
Guys moving?
There. I've got movement.
Cracked.
Team one.
Nice.
Guy behind us still.
Yeah, next roof here, next roof.
There. I've got movement.
At least I think. I heard him shooting from there, I just can't see him. Make it to the police station then. Because I'm getting a little bit low on ammo, even though I have a box. Wait. Oh no, never mind. Gonna say wait, but that spot was good as well. Now I could have used my claymores.
Yeah.
Do you have
One-
an extra
one
SMG?
game you don't have.
Yeah, I know. Do you have extra SMG that you don't use? Thank you. Pick up the rest, pick up the rest.
Only to the left.
Wanna check
Gas is inbound.
what
Marking
the
new
situation is
safe zone.
here.
Oh, this zone is good, but also bad.
Yeah, I know.
could get to there.
Location marked.
Or do you
Move
want to
up.
stay here?
No, it says stay here. Trying to figure out what the best thing to do is. So there were still 2 guys that are coming in from that
Moving up
side.
here.
There are guys that are coming in from this side as
Moving
well.
up here.
There's 136 AR ammo there.
Okay, yeah, I don't have an AR, so
Oh yeah. Five teams, 7 people.
guy there. 2 guys there.
Target sighted.
Could have shot actually the last guy.
They're the only duo. Everyone else is a solo.
Okay, yep. Can you get a shot on this angle here?
Somebody's been through here.
Red mark?
Copy. I'm on it.
'Cause that's where they're gonna be. Sorry, the yellow mark.
Oh, that's behind us, it sounds like.
Yeah, on the left. It sounded north. Come on, guys. No, they're running.
I've got 1-to-1 dead north, 48 meters.
Okay.
28.
Gas is moving in.
Right,
Oh,
didn't come up.
we're set.
Located.
We might want to get on roof after the zone starts coming in.
Yeah, let's go now.
Let's not get beamed by these guys.
Eyes up.
Yeah,
He's
no.
the first to come through. Wait, belay that.
I think over there.
Just
going
stay
in.
prone and watch it.
Team wipe.
5 to go. Bring home the win.
Nice.
You've got gas moving.
That could have been them actually. That was a duo.
Over there. Cracked. Down.
Finished.
One guy
Okay.
left.
Yeah, 1 guy left.
Friendly UAV
Nice
overhead.
ghost.
Okay.
He's in the bottom of our building.
Yeah, I just saw it at the door. I can move ahead if you want me to.
No, that's fine. I'll just stay here. Hope we have zone.
I'll just watch the stairs here. You can do your thing.
If he's like behind a rock in that field or something, we
Location
might be
marked.
screwed.
Move up.
Closing
Disregard
in.
my last.
Okay, now we're
Safe
set, we're set.
zone.
Okay.
I've also got dinner after this game, so this will have to be my last one.
Yeah, same. I'll do the same.
Gas is moving.
Alright, cool. Yeah, he's underneath us, I heard him.
Okay, I'm gonna get ahead.
I'm gonna play gas, I've got gas one.
Wasn't smart.
Oh, you-
He was in the window. Beautiful, man. Beautiful,
Take that.
beautiful.
Oh, he screamed.
You saved the day. Well played, man.
Three,
3 wins, man. Very nice, eh?
yeah. Easy.
Now you say that. Yeah, guys.
Oh,
3 wins in a
bloody
row. Beautiful. Hey, round of applause for Jax, eh? Very impressive stuff that he brought here to the stream today. Very well done. Beautiful play from him. And tactics wise, everything we did, everything worked out. Tactics worked, kills worked. Very nice to see. And we figured out what we can do, which perks we can pair up with the loadout. And I'll chatterbox, I'll let you know what we were doing, so you know exactly what happened.
7 and we had a 26.